Hey guys, this is Old Man Wags here with Circular Pressure Washers. Today we are going to talk to you about roof cleaning, why it's important, what you're cleaning, and what it is that you're going to be focusing on during the entire time that you're on a roof. So the first thing we're going to talk about, why is roof cleaning important? If you take a look around your neighborhood, you might see some black stains that are basically taking over somebody's asphalt shingle roof. What those stains are is actually a type of algae. Depending on where you are, it's either Gloeocapsa magma or some sort of cyanobacteria that has formed itself to the roof. The reason it's important to treat and clean that bacteria, that algae, that growth that's sitting on the roof will actually capture water when it rains and it'll hold it there significantly longer than the shingle's designed to. What that means is over time, that water is going to sit there and build up in pocket, and eventually that's what's going to start to decay and break down your roof. Through proper treatment and taking care of your roof and actually just a regular routine cleaning cycle, what you'll do is you'll take your roof that is maybe a 10-year roof or a 20-year shingle and prolong that to almost double its life, getting you a 30 or a 50-year shingle depending on what type of roof you actually have and its maintenance schedule that you're on. So by doing something as simple as this, it can actually prolong every part of your roof's life expectancy and really give you something to look at that's a lot more appealing than just those black stains that are on the roof. So let's talk about the different types of stains and growth that can happen on a roof. The first and the easiest, most common, that black hazing that's basically going down this entire roof. So we'll zoom out and get you a full shot of that. But basically, what you see is black taking over the entire roof. This is usually the first and earliest stages of Gloeocapsa magma taking over. It's not that big of a deal. This is the easiest of all the three that we're going to talk about to clean. And really, you just need a mild sodium hypochlorite solution with a little bit of a sud to let it stick there, and eventually that'll go away. The next thing we'll talk about, if you look in some of these areas, specifically right underneath of the shingle overlap, you see all different types of moss. The stuff comes off pretty easy on the surface, but if not treated at a further and deeper level, all it's going to do is come back with a vengeance and make itself more dominant. Once again, this is pretty easy to take care of. You throw the right solution on there, it'll dry up, it'll kill itself, and eventually it'll flake off and basically fall down the roof. The next part we're going to talk about is lichen growth or lichen growth, depending on how you want to pronounce it. This right here can be the most difficult stain to remove on a roof. What it is it's the most aggressive form of bacteria that can grow and bond to an asphalt shingle. It'll sit there and actually take over. Aside from physically scraping it off, it can be very difficult for it to remove itself. So what you'll end up doing is treating this several times. Once again, like that moss, it'll dry up completely. And then once it happens, eventually it'll break its bond and rinse itself free. This type of growth, if you have it all over a roof, and in some southern states and some southern territories, you'll see it a lot more common. But as this happens, if it's taken over the entire roof, it can take up to 3 or 4 treatments to actually remove itself completely. So if you're looking at this and if there's a job that has it, make sure you're bidding appropriately, because this can be a little bit more difficult to tackle and it's a little bit more of a nuisance. What we're going to do real quick is just do a small sample. This is just a 50-50 solution of sodium hypochlorite and water. We're going to spray that on the moss, the magma, and then what's left of our lichen stain right here. And we'll just give that a few minutes to dry. All right, so let's zoom in and take a look at our results and explain what actually happened. Over here on this side, we have the Gloeocapsa magma, all that black algae that was sitting on here. It is basically treated as can be. It has completely dissolved itself. It's been washed away from the surface just by applying the solution. What we're left with is basically this brown haze. That's where it's still clinging to the surface, but it's dead, and eventually it's going to fall off probably with the next rainstorm. Where we have these kind of speckled gray colors, that's actually the true color of what this shingle looks like now. So the shingles are about 50 years old, give or take. In comparison, they probably started as a black shingle, and just over time from neglect, this is the color that it's left with. The goal is to get the entire roof to look like that when we're done. That way everything looks nice and even. That way everything looks fresh again. If we take a look at our moss, it went from being a vibrant green color to this shriveled up white or gray, just basically it looks like a dissolved flower. If we kind of give it a little poke, it's kind of mushy. It's got a weird consistency. It almost feels like mushed up paper. When it's to that point, that means it's completely treated. It's dead. Once again, first rainstorm, this is all going to come right off. So right on this side, everything's taken care of. Everything's good in the areas that we treated. Let's check out our lichen stain. remember what this looked like. It looked like a tiny little flower that was opened up. It kind of had a whitish gray color to it, a little bit of green in there. Right now, it's basically just white mush. Once again, this is what it looks like when it's dead. This is what it looks like when it's treated. If you rub it away, you're kind of left with this brown, almost starting to look like dirt. And that's basically just the molecules breaking down. The bond that it has with the surface is gone. But what's interesting, give me a second to get this off. If you look real close right here, you can see why it's important to get this off. That bond actually broke down part of the shingle, and it's a little bit smoother here than it is on the rest of the surface. So wherever I've got this lichen, if I don't get to it right away, that means that the rest of my roof is never going to be the same, and eventually that's going to start to degrade itself. If you even feel going across the shingle, right there where that lichen was, you have a little bit of a divot from where it started to wear away on the roof and basically break away at different parts. So as you can see, it is a very important service to get this done. It will prolong the life of your roof, and the basics of it are get the solution on the surface, let the solution work. You don't need high pressure, you just need a dedicated chemical pump to get everything onto the surface. This is Dirt Killer Pressure Washers. If you like what you see, we'd love to hear your feedback in the comment section below. Feel free to check us out on dirtkiller.com. Let's kill some dirt.
Dirt Killer. Let's kill some dirt.